Undertale. Deltarune is a really good RPG, definitely better than Undertale as work of fiction. If you're into experimental RPGs with brilliant music, you have come to the right place. For the decade it has been worked on, it has made progress in leaps and bounds, going from what I would say was rather half-baked to something extremely complete. Chapter 1 is rather bare bones and by this point really showing its age. It showcases an extremely strong initial hook before introducing some basic battle mechanics. It suffers from those battle mechanics, it's not much. It suffers from the PS2 Persona 3 syndrome of having partners who act on their own without much to edit. There is enough to do it in that chapter alone that you can sink a few hours into it, but that's about it. Now I would like to skip chapter 3 and 2, so let's start with chapter 4. It's where Deltarune begins hitting its stride. You're seeing strong narrative building up, with some world building, involving a sort of a religion around the Deltarune prophecy. The theme is great and not what I expected at all. You are initially left with more questions than answers. Climbing mechanics was a very fun addition, with just enough depth for me to enjoy it thoroughly. I hope it is built on later. I think the narrative build up around Noel deserves particular note. You could have a red herring or a huge lead here. The interaction with Chris in other route is extremely strong. Callbacks in chapter 2 are abound and amazing. However, the mini bosses of this chapter are extremely boring and not fun to engage with. Their characterization through are brilliant. The final boss of the chapter has amazing music and makes of a decent climax to the first half. Through I found the sequence leading up to it and the fight itself to feel a little easy, possibly even weak. The hidden boss is long and far the best part, and will not to be what anyone expects. He saves the boss lineup from being a general quality drop. I didn't enjoy the dark segments of chapter 4 one bit. Through this is likely disagreement in game design principles more than thing. An absolute achievement all around, especially when you consider how long it's been since Deltarune's initial release. Alongside chapter 1 and 2, you are getting a heavy of new content with chapter 3 and 4 that stays true to the story formula. If you are a fan of this world and its chapters, you are going to laugh, cry and curse Tabby Fox for making you have to wait even longer to see the conclusion. My main gripes with the game are incredibly minor complaints and have very little to do with the quality product you are getting. I will certainly be putting a dozen more hours in just to see all the content I may or may not have missed on my first run. However, if you are expecting a full complete experience with a beginning, middle and end, I had encouraged you to hold off and on pushing this. I am a massive fan who knew it would be sold as an incomplete game to show support to Toby and the team, but others might not be forgiving to want to pay $25 for something that currently doesn't have an ending, with no ATA as to when we'll see it. This isn't a slight on Toby or his team, as game development is changing even when everything is going right, but it is warning to those who think you will be getting finished product. Overall, a fantastic game that is absolutely worth the money. Have fun diving into the mod.